In this film, author and podcaster Nishi Singh shares her journey of living with Parkinson's disease, a condition that only emerged in the later stages of her life. She opens up about how Parkinson's has transformed her world, impacting both her health and daily routine. Despite the challenges, Nishi continues to approach life with resilience and grace, motivating all of us to live fully, no matter what obstacles we may face.
Before this, definitely I'll be disabled, I did not think. And disability for us generally means two. One is deaf, people who can't hear, and another is blind, people who cannot see. And because of these two, sometimes the people cannot speak. So other than this, I did not think of any disability before my Parkinson's. I think a lot of care, personal care, in the sense that I was very positive, and most important was acceptance of the disease, because initially when I started looking on the net what exactly this disease is, I felt very bad, in the sense that it wrote so many things that I could not take it. So I just left, because one of the people advised that it does not, if you read anything on the net, it is not, it has a hole, it is not a WHOLE, it has a hole, so loophole, so avoid reading it. And then a lot of reading was done by my husband. I would credit a lot to my husband, because he read everything and read all the research and did all the research for me also to prepare me for my DBS, deep brain surgery, that I have undergone. Initially, I think I had a little problem in writing. My writing lost its flair and it became very small, mosquito like writing. And I had a kind of a numbing pain here in the hand. I don't know what it was, but it was diagnosed as task dystonia initially. And now the doctors have proved that even my frozen shoulder is one of the starting point of the disease. And also Parkinson's was I started having my medicine from 2012, but frozen shoulder I had around 2010. So, and frozen shoulder also I managed to do, because I am very determined to be keeping fit. I have always been fit and fine. And then when I had this Parkinson's, everybody said to take up yoga. So otherwise I was doing physical exercise, so I started up with yoga, and 7 years of yoga kept me afloat.
Is there a particular experience from your journey with Parkinson's that you'd like to share?
COVID period was a very cumbersome period, in the sense that we could not go. I was generally taking under the doctors of NIMHANS, Bangalore, and COVID period nobody could go, because the OPD was closed. And COVID period, a lot of care was taken by my husband, because I was working, I was heading a school and I had to go to the school. So every time he'll say, have you washed your hand, and are you, when you're going, are you wearing your mask, he gave me a headgear, all things possible. So in the last I was struck with Omicron. In the third stage, I was struck with Omicron, and that sometimes I think it worsened my case, and a lot of movement I started having. My head will not be stable, and I would not be able to sleep. I will not be reaching the washroom for my needs. So all this started happening, and more so, it was like freezing problem started. In Parkinson's is when you want to move and you cannot, your legs do not hear your command and do not take it. So one day I was hearing some guru, or I don't remember, one video to keep myself positive. So it said that if you are not well, it is your responsibility to be well. And nobody else's. So it struck to me that yes, I have to take care of myself. And I had a program in the school, I think it was foundation day, 5th foundation day. I finished that up and I went to see. I had seen on the mobile that the doctor that I was seeing, Swadia, was available for online consultation also. So this was something I was looking for, because COVID, we do not know when it will end. So I went to see Dr. Swadia in Bombay. When I entered the clinic, the doctor and his assistant was there, and the assistant and receptionist asked, "Who is the patient?" And I said, and I paid the requisite amount of the fee. And when I entered doctor to see, he asked, "Have you come alone?" Yes, I have come alone. So next question he asked was, "Are you still working?" Then I said, "Yes, doctor." Then he asked then he suggested, "I think, Mrs. Singh, the best thing for you, I would suggest, is to go for DBS. DBS is deep brain surgery." He gave me a literature to go through it, and then my husband called him, or rather he gave a call to my husband and told the details, and then my husband's research started for DBS.
Could you describe deep brain stimulation and share what the procedure was like for you?
It stands for deep brain surgery, and actually 2 electrodes are put in your brain, and it is connected through a wire to a machine here, and then it maneuvers your movement, helps you to maneuver your movements, and it is after the surgery 6 months it is programmed. But it is a very big surgery, because and a dangerous one too, because it is 6 hours or 7 hours of surgery time it took, because I was taken in the around 8 o'clock in the morning, and then my entire head was shaven because 2 electrodes had to be put, and it was fixed through a kind of a, what do you call it, a case, so that my head could not move, and then a machine was put. And this brain surgery is done when you are actually conscious, not when you are unconscious, because the brain does not feel any pain. And why it is done? Basically because to see, because there are these when the electrodes are put, the brain cells can be touched, and the area it can be touched, anything can happen. So every time they did the piercing or whatever, I do not know what they were doing behind me, but every time they asked me to move my hands, legs, and cognition, where are you, and do this. So probably they were checking all the parameters, my cognition and my movement, that it is not affected. So, and later on, for this putting up this machine, it is a charger actually, which I have to charge weekly right now for half an hour, and then it's after 6 months of the surgery I was programmed, and since then my movement, my sleeping pattern is thoroughly normal. That is one very big thing that I can say, because sleep actually induces natural dopamine, which is a deficient in my case. So sleep is taken care of, and my movement also, and more so when anything or I slow down or anything, I have to keep consulting the doctor, and then they program accordingly. And a very important thing, one thing I missed, that the DBS actually halved my medicine, because the medicines in the long term have some certain side effects. So that is also done. I have 5 tablets a day, 3 hourly.
What lifestyle changes have you made after DBS?
The kind of person I was and the kind of person I became because of this disease was a sea change. First of all, I had to accept it. If I was not accepting it, then it would have been very difficult for me, because you can't even imagine right now what I used to do. I used to do correction of notebooks in a jiffy, and answer paper, and I was very good with students. So, and before you could think of anything, I could just manage to do that work. So, when I slowed down, it had a great impact. But I did not give up hope. I had to think ways of doing things better, because I am not that kind of a person who will lament, because lamenting doesn't help, and fret for the things when they come and find for a solution is my motto. Yes, चिंता से चिता का रिलेशन होता है. चिंता चिता के जैसी होती है. It burns you slowly like a fire. And like working as a head of the school was not easy. It required everything, and most important, I am very good learner. So when I left my job as a teacher and HOD for 4 schools for history, I think that was a very good exposure to me from DPS Patna. And I was thinking of heading a school. Then I had asked somebody that will I become a principal, because by that time I lost the swing of my arm and my leg was trailing. Then that person had said that be positive. I think somebody who thinks that the principal does not need to think with her feet, that person will give you a job. And actually my interview went very well, and I was a founder principal of a school, Millennium World School in Patna. And right from establishing the school till class 12th, and then came my retirement age, 58 years. So then also it was sudden, because I was not keeping fit, in the sense when I turned 58, I was not keeping fit, because I could not give time to myself, because I am a very honest worker. I think somebody is giving you a salary, and I was blessed to be with a job till 58. So to decide to retire was also a big decision, but I took it, and my family support was there. For some time, in order to understand my problem also, I did a counseling course. And doing a counseling course, the course itself worked as a counselor for me.
What activities or interests do you enjoy focusing on the most these days?
I think Nishi Singh survived is the main thing, because if you're working for 6-7 hours and then all of a sudden there is a kind of a vacuum, then you have to think what to do. So some of the time went on, because I had become a poet. I wrote English and Hindi poem, and that book is also published in my name, that is Nishigandha. हो छाया कितना भी सघन अंधेरा, हो छाया कितना भी सघन अंधेरा, विपत्तियों ने डाला हो चहूँ ओर डेरा, हौसले इसके कभी नहीं टूटेंगे, हौसले इसके कभी नहीं टूटेंगे, ज़िंदगी ज़िद है, जीवन अंकुर फूटेंगे. Every time you have to reinvent yourself. So I thought ki what is best in me. I could talk, I could present my facts as a teacher, or these things I was trained to do. So I put 2 and 2 together and started a podcast, that is Unfiltered Voices. So this way I meet people also, which I am very fond of, and then talk to them, and I have to do a lot of research on them. So I think I'm happy. And sometimes since I'm a passionate history teacher, I teach children also. So that takes care of my entire day.